The National Cathedral is a project which Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo spoke of after he was sworn in as the President of the Republic of Ghana. Now, as Ghanaians, we all know that we've never come together in Parliament, out of Parliament, to say that we need a cathedral and that our monies or our taxes should be put in any cathedral. Enyumbre utiemia asema yebedi hu nkomo National Cathedral no hu nkomo ne yebedi. Na na meka ne brofo no Ghana for efri imra yeto aba 2016 Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the President of the Republic of Ghana no. Ghana for ya ntnada an di hu nkomo da say as Oman Ghana no ye pe cathedral bi yesi edi akwakwa ye ho yanko parliament ye ngina fie engina dem anko jire bebi anfo ye sa anhye krata bi ase anka say Ghana for adia ehia ye pa any cathedral. In fact 2012 13 14 15 Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ka kire Ghana for say adekodi enti aye ntuma no simple obetu katasehye ase corruption. He wanted to come and fight corruption. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo told Ghanaians he wanted power just to come in and revive the economy. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo okachere say yentuma no na oman na ahokyere wom no omeyi ahokyere ni mfiri ho. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in 2012 13 14 15 made a lot of noise about making sure that every single Ghanaian will get a job. Jobs will be on the streets for we Ghanaians to just walk upon. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo kachere say yetuma no 2012 13 14 15 or the ejuma bebuso ejuma ebe ade bia yebetietia so ejuma ebe fono Ghana for. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo in 2012 13 14 15 16 okache Ghana for Nana John Dramani Mahama president bia ombon homoden eba infrastructure eba school dan ayesi eba ekwan ayeye eba factories ayesi eba senior yema oman etumpon through infrastructure. He was the right person to do the job. He told us that John Dramani Mahama lacked the foresight to expand Ghana's infrastructure and that we should vote for him. And no, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ekachere Ghana for. There was some simple reasons in Tia Yejina Ekoto about 2015. 2016, making sure said Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will come in, step in, and do better than John Dramani Mahama. Ni nimse na OC schools. John Mahama na OC a year Commander Sugar Factory. John Mahama na OC Legon University of Ghana Hospital. John Dramani Mahama na OC Ridge Hospital. John Dramani Mahama na OC E-blocks across the country. Na OC regional hospitals, north, south, east and west. John Dramani Mahama na OC a year airports across the nation. John Dramani Mahama na at the end of the day progressively na obi a year free SHS send be bedroom pempensuo bi no Ghana ni akore bia benya school dan papa mu atena enya eje sound mind na adwunu kan adaho enya akade adesuade ama ne bra aye papa. John Dramani Mahama and the NDC no from 2012 13 14 15 omo enya full 8 years also tiase after 20 a year 2012 elections no Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo any NPP the John Mahama ne NDC abani ko gina court ebe mfie be mienu anamiensa. John Dramani Mahama enya aso amfa embuma no after court no ebu ase Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ne NPP na omu ni engineer so bia omu de election ba court no John Dramani Mahama enya 5 years. And so nyoma menoka se Kotoka International Airport, Volta Airport, Northern Airport, and the Bawumiako jina hoya concerti. In sama ananyoma yeditua our Ghana, Pokwase interchange, Kaswa interchange, eye Accra, eye Dubai, Meka circle interchange, yako Kotokraba market, yako eye other places are uhu nyoma ewo winiso. We can talk about the numerous projects under John Dramani Mahama. Segleme housing. Yebetuma ka ekwanya ubetume hua and they still exist. Cheap compounds around the country. John Dramani Mahama and the NDC used less than 5 years to put all these things together. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo during that time, he was on the sidelines. All catcher Ghana for say, Montumame, I can do better. John Mahama lacks vision. Or no, and NPP or Brennan Huase obetu katasehye. He hates corruption. He is a man who is a so-called lawyer. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo say he was going to change Ghana. He was going to make Accra the cleanest city in Africa and in the world. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo say our economy will be the robust economy. And the Menoka say the city is crossed 8 Ghana cities. And the dollar has crossed 8 Ghana cities. And then the pound has crossed 9 cities. And the economic whiz kit Now the crazy old bald man, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is missing. He has decided not to speak on the economy again. He has decided not to speak on the things that Ghanaians were yearning for in 2016. What has changed? Did we actually, as a nation, called for a cathedral? Did we campaign for a cathedral? Did we vote for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo because of a cathedral? We voted for Akufo-Addo for some simple reasons. We just wanted jobs. We wanted a better economy. We wanted Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to continue what his predecessor left. Today, the main topic on our lips is a cathedral. What is a cathedral? Can a cathedral feed anybody? Is cathedral the priority of the young Ghanaian who is hungry? Is a cathedral the priority of the civil servant who hasn't been paid? Is a cathedral the priority of Ghana? Tonight, what we'll be doing tonight is I'll be breaking issues down for you to understand the idea behind this cathedral, the criminality behind it, and why we should come together as a nation, vote against Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the NPP. It does not matter who represented them in 2024. This is a killing machine calling itself a government. This is a criminal cartel calling itself a government. Ghana Nibia wadwini wofie. Ghana Nibia sebio udimoko dinchine. Wadwini mu dono also tia sese Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo aban we aban a omo ba se omo be se Ghana. Omo kum, omo sei, omo wia. Ende me be kire ma de kodie ntia wo ye kristoni etese me a wadwini wofie na ope se Ghana etum ponko enima cathedral ya yesi a yede wusika ene misika esi no eye krono ade e wo se ye nyina ye te ase se cathedral na Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo si no eye Ghana fo sika na wo wia ye twa montro from day one ebesin de ende me bibie akokɔ ne to me be ka asante kasa me de brofo kakra be fra e ma obia ehu de esi e wo Ghana. After this episode, Ghana fo nyina behu sika twitwiri dia Akufo-Addo efechire ewia efri Ghana ho. Me say this document is coming from the PPA, that is the Public Procurement Authority, straight from their office. This is a document that was sent from the Flagstaff House, Office of the President, OOP, to the Public Procurement Officer, na ABAJ Eda Ano. 2018, and the presidency wrote to a year the PPA to grant them that permission to get access to some funds, to get access to some documents, and I said access to some funds to build Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's cathedral. There was a ye pa made the wedding statement. There was a back and forth letter between the presidency and the Public Procurement Authority. Recently, near Teha and the same way, we all saw these things flying on our screens. National Cathedral, David Ajay paid 32 million Ghana cedis in 2021 for consultancy services. Mo amutiem no yesi in 2021 a year National Cathedral we no David Ajay ya or ya architect no Ghana buying from the office of the president no finance minister ye yisika 32 million Ghana cedis for his services, and yet the construction of the cathedral consultancy services. You can say consultancy services are there. Adikudienti made 32 million Emma David Ajay no and say you can say ye per companies are or more experience are or more able to me abesi cathedral no or more knowledge or more engineer ye disi cathedral into a buying Fred David Ajay. Gachen said David Ajay, you are a consultant was Addo because you why sisi cathedrals be we say we sisi bu America ye pese wo no ubetina ano na wo hwehwe company a sebio omo that experience that expertise a omo betumi si cathedral a ebi NC we ase da. Now David Ajay na nkasa so na the companies a obeveti omo e the cathedral na shop nsa so bunsi. God being so good, you know, David Ajay na yetua no 32 million Ghana cedis no say onfanya sa consultancy job no and select company bi maye na company ni besi cathedral no David Ajay na company and sa wini sa eye bid no inti ono atena so everty companies and ono anso a company e wini ye inti we na wo no atikire no no inti yetua 32 million Ghana cedis ama David Ajay Emma, I a consultant. I say you on one company a eba besi cathedral no. Mema Renfi. Yes, sir. Nyoma we every abine we ho. These are some of the things we heard only a small portion of annual expenditure has been spent on national cathedral. And yet the finance minister Bekachre say yene yesika yeto ejejeno kakra bi ne yefrima yede edit AC cathedral no or somoti asese from the beginning. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and NPP aban we kachre say eye ebona Akufo-Addo share eye on the Nyankopon no wa nhye Nyankopon bo se or the Ghana for etfo ye taxes and the ebetua eye cathedral no na eye onoa and na oni the Christophobi ebe pesika esi cathedral no. And so when the finance minister kachre Ghana for nyina say or say eye cathedral no ye ne taxes na ye gine di bitua adwasafo ka ewa bruchira odi atem no eno ene yi kakra bi ene ye di si national cathedral no. Wo ye Ghana ni wo ye badwemba wo ye Christo ni te semia asema me no be kan dwene ho ye yesa ehu sansem we bi ewo eye efri aban ho. National Cathedral will cost $100 million. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ene eye NPP aban we be si so no omo ka kire e na obia can be from their communicators to every single individual in the NPP. Omo ka kire say cathedral na Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ABC no ebe cost no $100 million. And the Kodienti America say ebe cost no $100 million because yene Ghana for yemfa yen sanche krata biase enka say yesi cathedral. It is him and his colleagues, his pastor colleagues, who want to go generate their own money and do what? And pay for the cathedral. Into the first time, Ram Kachar said this cathedral will cost us $100 million. Let's move forward. Yes, in some say National Cathedral to cost about $200 million. Dinka Bekachre say ebe cost $100 million. And Secretariat no esa Bekachre in 2021 say now a $300 million ako $200 million. Remember, se ube si daya unim edan do abeso si. If you want to build 4-bedroom house, obeso si endankra enaya unim blocks do mesi ni begina obeka achrew sebio your inference you betu nyoma me betu nyoma so inti wo to cement 10 bags mesi ni to make to cement 3 bags ka ho plus 1 minus 1 and one say cathedral can say you be $100 million no cathedral na ajampe abedu $200 million e dey na esi e nyoma ya tutuma ko do point bi yesade 1,000% and 100% aka cathedral ni sika ho. As we speak now, the cathedral is going to cost $200 million. Ensiwa yasa ate eye asemfoforo efri eye aban we ho. $350 million needed to complete National Cathedral. Secretariat explains. Sa Secretariat we are omobeka kire say $100 million in the first place. And you for that second one year $200 million every Christopher Secretariat where almost say Oma contacting a year creme de la creme experts people who are good in building. Oma Bekache said $200 million and they about 2022 Oma 2021 almost Bekache said cathedral no and cost $200 million. Now cathedral no be cost $350 million. Into the cathedral no the amount you best spend this cathedral no a project cost from 100 all the way to $350 million. But as we sit here Obian Bekanchre say some modifications have been made. Ebia cathedral no yesi baako aka ho and I say yesi half aka ho and I say ye bibia ka ho ama price no e blotisa because it will only take maybe some extra work be a bigger than a cathedral and to be bloated scanner to $350 million because if you brought in experts who know how much will be spent on this cathedral, I don't think it should jump that high to $350 million. Now, all these things we had it. And at the end of the day, the question you'll be asking is National Cathedral no a wine dia. National Cathedral no e Ghana for ni etua. National Cathedral no e Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo na akopesika bitua ana se odi abetu yedim na ofa chire ewie sika efrie ho. Let's go straight to the documents and let me prove something to you. Now, you see this. This is a letter from the President's office to the Public Procurement Authority. This letter was written on the 10th of December 2018. Now, Makara said, pay rapt attention to the wording. It's very, very important. The wording is very important. Now, this is the letter that the presidency, the Jubilee House, signed by the Chief of Staff, wrote to the Public Procurement Authority. If the Public Procurement Authority are saying they don't have this letter in their possession, they should come out tomorrow and let the world know. Now let's read the letter. Menya botre akan ne achechim ema Ghana ni bia atene ho ase. Mutie me on this platform, please ignore whoever is on this platform trying to distract you. Watch me. Forget about the comments. Watch and listen. That's the most important thing. NPP for one kwasi afori bia be go no more distract mo. Don't listen. Don't be reading. Just listen to what I'm saying. Ghana ni awhweme is very important. Now I'll say, request for approval to use single source for the appointment of a consulting firm. Omo PPA say, omo approval say, the Jubilee House wants to use a consulting firm to do a job. Check the wording very well. Now, what does the letter say? This office of the president is seeking reference number. Let me go to the reference number. It's very, very important. And the letter was received on the 11th of December 2018. PPA. And the reference number is SCRDA 415/427/0. This office of the president is seeking the approval of the Public Procurement Authority, PPA, under Section 725A of the Public Procurement Act 2003, Act 663, as amended by Act 914, to use single source to appoint Sir David Ajay and Associates Limited as design team for the construction of the National Christian Cathedral. Now, President Officer Chokoma PPA say almost omope say PPA eyi puma kwemu na omo appointi eye Sir David Ajay an associate omo company no say president in the Jubilee House adwene wo so omo nko na omo gitum say omo betumi abedi adwuma. They will be the what design team for the construction. Omo and construct National Cathedral no, they would design the National Cathedral. Intimino ka say ye company after a man David Ajay an associate 32 million say omo fanyi company no yi on one company no right now no aban aya Jubilee House trama PPA say omo ho kwan no mo use David Ajay na onye design na ye de besi National Cathedral no ho adwuma enti dem kan first one no ase kire no. Now let's move forward. He goes on to say this: the National Christian Cathedral, or say the National Christian Cathedral. But Matthias says Cathedral in Ghana for Nadia. But when they were writing to PPA, they were very specific. The wording is very important. Or say the National Christian Cathedral. As they be almost say, oh, Cathedral in Ghana for dia Muslim phobe tumaba, akon phobe tumaba, yenyina ni esi Cathedral. So the National Christian Cathedral, and the wording is very important. Now, the National Christian Cathedral is a partnership between the state and the Christian community. Also, National Christian Cathedral no in Kabum a partnership a Christian community no any a Ghana buying and waka omutiri abon. The state is facilitating the process by providing the land, the secretariat, and seed money for the preparatory phase. Almost say a Ghana buying no and omoma a asase no na omo aso na edi seed money sika ye de to ase no ento ase sika no Ghana ban omo ma sika na omo sa ma asase na omo sa bia bibia for secretariat de astarte dwumadie. He goes on to say this: the main funding for the project will be through fundraising by the Christian community both home and abroad, relieving any undue financial burden on the state. I must say, sika edebesi sa cathedral we ni ebebo ho bra ni nyina no sika nye aban ne betua na mmom no ankura Christopher a mo fie eni abrochire sika omo begege enom de besi but so tia say all start no say National Cathedral no aban no ena beto ase sika ama aban na sa ama asase ena aban na be se tia den secretariat bika. Now, or say National Cathedral ne de omo pese omo de how kese beto aban so nti enya dia Ghana aban ne betua ho ka na Christopher individuals omo wiase efie any away and that's abroad and betua National Cathedral we ho eka. Now he goes on to say this: where a letter way free Ekufuado office, chief of staff, the sign to PPA. So that time na ABAJ was the boss of PPA, 2018. I'll say this partnership framework between states and the Christian community will be a practical expression of the social partnership envisaged to foster participatory development of country as a collective goal. I'll say Sajumadi we know Jumedia a Christopher Omuhuni say and I say no presidency any Christopher who say a Jumedia be and I say a year according to a Namobia Umbesobutu na a year or minor ye Kenya bomb na ye to upon wa ebetumi atigane nim ama ye nyina ebe hu se ye bedru impempenso bi a ede empuntio ene kroye ebeba enti o che PPA for say cathedral no de ede eye nkabom ene Ghana for free afane ne bebia be hia ama yetumpon abom. So it's a symbol of unity that will bring every Ghanaian together. Now go on paragraph 3. The cathedral will house impressive chapels and baptistry, 5,000 seat main auditorium that is expandable to 15,000 for national events and celebration. I must say, cathedral no, a cathedral ebefa nipa impim num 5,000. Na no kra no ombetuma se biem amana fa nipa impim dunan. A year 15,000. Send ye beya a year celebration any event ebeko koso no ye betumi akoye no national cathedral ho. The presidency SR say it will include, among other things, a grand central hall, a music school, and will house Africa's first Bible museum and documentation center. In addition, there will be a provision for a national park. Inti omoche PPA this adequenti among grante mumbiam muyipumakwem na eye David Ajay moment chance na ombeye the person to design this cathedral and say ye be park room national park bebem omobeye bibi to say Bible museum omobeye bibi to say eye a school music school ene nyoma ni nyina cathedral nim. Now the 4th paragraph, which is the last one, I'll say the legacy of the cathedral project is immense and requires a design team with varied architectural and design experience that fit into the I'm sorry, there's something here which is covered. Intentions of putting up an impressive national edifice, said David Ajay Associates, with their vast experience and achievement in the field of architecture have been identified by the office as the design team to manage the preparatory phase of the project and subsequently supervision of the construction. Almost say cathedral no e ade bi ehia pa Ekufuado na etro we akoma PPA enti omde omodi to form no omo say eye say David Ajay any the company ni omni nkofo bi a omo say experience na omo betumi a design company no na omo make sure say subsequent no omo supervise construction no into 1 there is design and 2 there is construction, supervision of construction. Now some person are confused too. Me started me catch say there was a document out you cheer David Ajay we are so 32 million Ghana cedis say on fanya den on fan verti companies or verti companies ni we are ya no ne tua ne saka no oyi company ni we are na sa company no so ye tua ne car or the babe design a yet national cathedral no and sana supervision into 3 things. David Ajay had to do what? He was a consultant to select a company that would design. It's a 32 million Ghana cedis. And or design we no on one company they win here. And yes, I chose on one company no so sa ba jiska. Na wa draw we are no as supervise near contract construction. Now he goes on to say this. The total budget for the assignment is $23,750,000. They are talking about $23 million payable in Ghana cedis equivalent at the prevailing Bank of Ghana forex rate at the time of payment. Now, the fee account for 12.5% of the estimated total construction cost of $190 million. Now, this particular place is very, very important. Now, what can I say? The total budget for the assignment is $23.7 million. Now, This $23.7 million is being paid to David Ajay's company for design and supervision. Also, Tia said David Ajay's company has already taken 32 million Ghana cedis for being a consultancy firm to elect a company to go and do a design and finish with the construction. Now, I'm gonna say David Ajay, after taking a $32 million cedis, his company now won to design the cathedral. No, he is going to be paid $23.7 million. Now, sir, $23.7 million, no, free a year $190 million from start to finish. No, yedi basic cathedral. No, and before they were writing to the Public Procurement Authority. No, now our budget said the cathedral is going to cost $190 million. But before that, 2018, they were telling us that the cathedral will cost $100 million, $200 million. But when they were writing from the Jubilee House to the PPA, no, almost David Ajay, no, almost $23.7 million out of the $190 million. Remember, David Ajay's company has taken 32 million Ghana cedis for just consultancy services. Now, the government is saying we should pay David Ajay $23 million. And yes, see this, $1 million out of the $190 million we know is going to be the whole money to finish constructing this cathedral. Now, it goes on to say this: Appendix B and C provides the fee breakdown for your consideration. Now, the fee covers preparatory works for up to the construction handover. The anticipated construction period is between 24 months, 2 years. Attached as Appendix D is the company registration profile. Now, also attached as Appendix E are the profiles of the 3 key personnel of the design team and a selected profile of part of the delivery team. Appendix F provides example of some groundbreaking designs and completed designs and construction projects under said David Ajay's trademark, counting on your usual a year cooperation. From what I am reading to you, this letter is from the Jubilee House. It was signed by Honorable Akosua Freeman Opare, Chief of Staff, the Chief Executive, Public Procurement Authority, CC, the Director, F&A, Office of the President. Now, so this stage, what we know from the letter from the presidency is clear. David Ajay company was contracted to be a consultancy firm to elect a company that will design the cathedral to help supervise for construction. David Ajay ni we 32 million Ghana we no, and I say for just the design you call PPA you command $23 million. $23.7 million to come and design and supervise the construction. Remember, I'm catch a letter we say we will need $190 million to finish this whole project, meaning $23.7 million near but $190 million. So Akufo-Addo sent this letter to PPA to approve. Now, the National Cathedral, at the end of the day, it's not a government policy. And then also the two team National Cathedral, the only time PPA comes into issues like this to sign and allow, and say because we are going to use the taxpayers' money and non kwana PPA bim. The only time you see the Public Procurement Authority signing something to say ajiatum budget ne ye, it means it's a sikana wajiatum no a accountant general and a finance minister no. So in the first place, why is the president or the presidency writing to PPA when the project is an individually or somebody's personal project, not funded by the government? Why is the presidency writing to PPA to approve? Why is the government now forcing PPA to approve an amount which at the end of the day the PPA is approving on behalf of the taxpayer? So technically, the government or the presidency is telling PPA to approve this amount for us to pay David Ajay $23 million. Now PPA responded to this letter. This is the response from the PPA, which was led by AB Ajay. Public Procurement Authority, private mail bag, blah, 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 blah. And you can see they replied this letter on the 17th of December. Remember, the presidency wrote them on the 10th. It was delivered on the 11th. The PPA led by ABAJ, they are doing what? They are responding to this on the 17th. That's after 4 days or 5 days. This is what it said. Request for approval to use single source for the appointment of a consulting firm. And then also the Tutrimo, for the appointment of a consulting firm. It is not the construction of the cathedral. This particular money you are talking about, 23.7 million, is just for the consultancy firm to draw the designs. So you need to draw that line. Now, what does Public Procurement Authority say? We make reference to your letter number CSCR DA 415/427 blah blah blah, dated 10th of December 2018 on the above subject. At the board technical meeting, committee meeting number 20020/2018 held on Thursday 13th December 2018, the board granted approval to Office of the President, that is OOP, in accordance with Section 72(5)(b) of Act 663 as amended, to engage Sir David Ajay and Associates as lead consultant, construction and supervision for the construction of the National Cathedral, Christian Cathedral, at a total cost of 23.750 million. After David Ajay Muji 32 million Ghana cedis for just getting their own company winning their bid, they are paying him for design and supervision $23 million out of the $190 million. Now it goes on to say, OOP, that is Office of the President, is however requested to negotiate for a 10% trade discount on the contract sum prior to the award of contract. The approval contract sum, therefore, 21.375 million. So PPA, so catch say, the presidency should go and fight for some discount, 10% discount. If the 10% discount applies, the final figure they will be paying David Ajay and your 23 million, it will be $21.3 million. Now the question is, this document can only be effective, and the first one can only be effective if the presidency had actually gone back to do this. Now there's no letter showing that the presidency actually negotiated a discount of 10%. And as we speak, all these documents, if anybody say they are legit documents, for us to pay this money, that person is a criminal. Because the procedure is simple. The PPA said, go out there, Office of the President, go and negotiate for a 10% discount, trade discount. Meaning, almost monko, go and do this. And you bet you finalize it. I can say yes, $21.3 million at Bemano. There wasn't any interaction again. There's no letter there showing say the presidency followed the process. Now you have to understand, so when it comes to contracts, documents, especially with the PPA or the Public Procurement Authority, documentations, the procedure should be very, very much followed. The moment you breach one part of the process, the whole process becomes a sham. And he is not worried because he did not breach any procurement law, because he did not even go through procurement. The facts say, you are occupying a government office, and the rules states it clearly that every single thing you do when it comes to money, it needs to go through procurement. The moment you ignore that process, you have breached the law. That is why we say procurement breach. It's not about you going through or not. It's about you neglecting what you need to do. You neglecting your core responsibility as the lead of an organization, a government institution. So for Paul to say, he doesn't have a problem because he did not even go through the process. You are in a public office. When you take a dime and you don't go through the process, you have breached the law. And the Paul Adumatri has breached the procurement law. But I wanted to educate him on that particular one. Now with this one, we need to understand that the bottom line is simple. And the bottom line is that we, the presidency, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has sent a letter called PPA 2018. Say, after paying 32 million Ghana cedis to David Ajay for being a consultant, you know, to try and get a better company to come supervise, design, and build the cathedral. No? They are now going to pay David Ajay $23 million. Sorry. Now the question you ask yourself, where is this money going to come from? And in the first place, what has procurement authority got to do with this? What has the public procurement authority? If this letter was about what we call the land which belongs to the people, I would have understood. Because you are saying you are giving a land to government land for some job to be done on. So maybe this is how much it's worth. That one I will understand. But this is not a land. You are talking about services. You are talking about somebody rendering a service and going through public procurement authority. So is the project a government project or an individually financed project? And that is the distinction we want to know. So from day one, these people have used government money. We are talking about $23 million. $190 million. And you see, Ghana, for the fact is, last say first, I'll just give you people everything. I want a response from the presidency. I want a response from the PPA, because there are some documents I'm keeping, because I know somebody will blow up. So the bottom line here is the government of Ghana, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has used your money. This cathedral, all the things they were saying, said they were getting money from some individuals and donors, they are lying. They are paying $23 million from your money given to David Ajay. 25 million Ghana cedis recently. We are talking about 32 million Ghana cedis for consultancy. We are looking at $190 million. Boga, if you are in Ghana today and you are not mad, you are not crazy, you are not pissed enough, then without due respect, you don't deserve to be there. This cathedral was built on lies. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and his Achim Sakawa, they are laundering money and using this cathedral to launder money. They are stealing through the cathedral. So I'll give you this today. I'm not too well. The team, we are saving the rest of the documents. And there's a specific reason why we are doing this. We are doing this because we want Ghanaians to understand that where we've gotten to is not a stage whereby we have to all sit back and watch these criminals use religion, cathedral, to destroy us. First question, what has PPA got to do with a project like the National Cathedral, which is a combination for the Christian council and the Christian community and a president? We were told from day one that the National Cathedral, the Christian National Cathedral, wasn't going to be funded by the government. Why are we now having documents through PPA for PPA to approve for monies to be paid? And whose monies are these going to be paid? And by the time during that time they were sending these letters to PPA, how much did they even have in their fund? When did they start campaigning for the National Cathedral? We are not stupid. Ghanaians, muma imdi ni kakra. Akufo-Addo ya kronfo. Akufo-Addo knows majority of us are foolish because your boy Nyankopon ding, your boy Bible, we all fall for it. That's why today the clergy, majority of them, we respected. They are all quiet. They have been fooled. They have supported crime. These documents will be out tonight. Have access to them. If you're a radio presenter, you're a TV, you are with me, I always say this platform, we never hide documents. Have access to them. pose the questions you need to pose. Let the institutions come out and deny. And that is the only way anyone on earth can discredit me. So when to man, sir, that you don't have the right.
What up, my people? I go by the name T-Rhyme, aka the stylish rapper, aka Control, aka Fire, aka what I say, BBB. You watching Davcado TV. Keep it live. Don't go nowhere.